So, how do you connect your assets when you have a PIM and a DAM? First, a little bit about us. General Mills is located in Minneapolis, Minnesota, where winters last a very, very, very long time. And our purpose is we serve the world by making food people love and pets. I like to add that in because we recently purchased Blue Buffalo Pet Food, so that's who we are. These are some of our brands. You may be familiar with them. They probably show up on your tables. They're in your pantries, on your feeding to your children, whomever. So these are probably recognizable, hopefully to you. So I recently attended a Michael Bublé concert. For those of you who know who Michael Bublé is, love, 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 yes. Love his singing, love his voice, love to look at him. But one of the things I noticed, I think that makes him unique in today's genre is he doesn't just have a background band, he has a backup orchestra. And I was thinking about how to pull this presentation together and make sort of a story out of it, and I thought orchestration and an orchestra play into this, and here's how. Orchestras have sections, and individually those sections can make beautiful music. The string section can make beautiful music, the brass, the woodwinds, etc. And DAM and PIM are sort of like that, right? Each of them is a section in your orchestra. So the DAM section at General Mills is a content hub of all things that are created for or by General Mills, so all of our digital content. And we preload that DAM with metadata from our master data systems. So I can use whatever I'm putting in there to link to my assets, however I so choose to use it. This content hub for us is all brands, all product images for everything in General Mills. So it's not just our key brands, it's all our brands. And it's the past ones, it's the current ones, and it's the future ones. So things that might not yet be in market, things that are in market, things that may no longer be in market. And the DAM is the source for all of those things. And part of the responsibility of the DAM for us is that DAM system generates public URLs. And why is that important? Because I don't want people coming back to my DAM to authenticate to get images when they're going out to retailers or wherever that network might be where my product images might show up. So I generate these public URLs for all of my external purposes, like GDSN, Global Product Syndication, like things like retail and catalog services like Item Master or to specific retailers in general. And the next section of my orchestra is PIM. And PIM at General Mills is a newer commodity, a newer concept. It's only been around a couple of years. But they use master data to seed label and product data. So things about the images, things about the product, right? And they are the data of record for all enhanced product data. And what does that mean? It means the consumer-friendly stuff. So I don't want my SAP product name to appear somewhere where a consumer is going to see it because it means nothing to them. So they manage all the consumer-friendly stuff, the claims about your product, the product-friendly names, the whatever consumer-friendly information that you might have. And they also manage the active product attributes. So which of the many, many, many hundreds of products or thousands of products that may exist, which ones of these are actually in market today and what's going to get published to those consumers? And then they do the product syndication. So they are publishing those products to those external resources, right? It's to GDSN, it's to the retailers, it's to whomever you want this to go to. So how do I take those individual pieces of music and pull them together to make an orchestra? And who's going to lead the show? Well, you may have seen on both of those slides the term master data. So master data in our orchestration is the conductor. And that's how both of my sections of my orchestra are going to play together.
Oh, great.
You love that?
Oh my God. Oh, that was great.
Thank you, thank you. So, how does that orchestra create the music? So, at General Mills, like I said, the DAM came first, right? So we've been around a long time, 20 years. And so when I re-platformed a few years ago, how do I take advantage of the data that exists within my company to help me identify and make my images searchable? I connect up to the master data. So for us, it's about labels and it's about products. And I pull that data in and I make it metadata in my system, okay? And then along came PIM. And so they take advantage of the same master data, right? So now, as you might guess, we're going to be speaking the same language because they understand what a label is, they understand what a product is, I understand what a label is, and I understand what a product is. So they manage all things product related, active product, and syndication. I manage all things image related and create those public URLs that they are going to expose to whatever external partner we have. So my public URL up there is generated every time I get new assets dropped into my system. I've already got the pre-work done for them to come and pick up. So every time something happens in my system, I drop a message. And they are listening for those messages, and they intercept them and they say, is this a product that I care about? And if so, I'm going to query back to my DAM system and pick up the images that I want based on that data that you sent to me. And then because this is a two-way street, right, and we like to play together, the PIM is going to give back to me that active label set. So which one of those 5 different e-commerce sets that I get for one single product, which one is the active? Because I could be creating ones for club, I could be creating one specific for retailers, I could be doing promotional, I could be doing box tops for education, which is a thing at General Mills. So out of those multiple image sets, they can tell me which one is the non-promotional, non-box tops, non-club, non-retailer specific image set, so that when my marketers come back to my DAM system, they can find the exact image set that meets all of that criteria. So what does that do? That means that PIM can now publish our products with the right set of images to GS1. And from there, that means they can publish to the retail world. So we also are going to use those same product images to drive to our own media sites. So on my bettycrocker.com page, where I also display products, I can now use that consumer-friendly product data that I'm getting from my PIM system to populate product-related pages on my own platform. So I'm reusing and repurposing not just the images, but the data that I'm picking up from my master data system and my PIM system in many different ways. So here's a little bit deeper dive into the example. So my asset is on the top left, living in my DAM system. It follows the GS1 standard naming convention. And then my master data exists below that. So I know that this asset has this specific information about the package or the product or the division that it's going to be distributed through, et cetera, et cetera. And because we both use master data, that label key allows us to talk together. So we can make the connection using the master data that we've pulled in. And then what that allows PIM to do is come back and get those URLs that they're going to publish out to the rest of the world. And then I'm going to get back that friendly in-market information from my PIM system, which enhances my images in my DAM system. And so what's the grand finale? What's the great orchestration that you get out of this? Sales, sales, sales. Because now every place that you're putting your e-commerce set of images is speaking the same language, it's publishing the same set of images, and so every retailer out there knows what your products are and what they look like, and that drives sales. And again, you can put those same sets of images on your own media platforms. So what's the lesson from this? Go forth and make beautiful music with DAM, PIM, and master data.